Would you say, Vaush, if someone was born in Israel and never left, there's a certain age where they'd be morally obligated to remove themselves from the colonialist structures by leaving the colonized territory? No. For two reasons. One, I don't believe the burden of leaving the home that you live in is like an acceptable thing to expect of like an ordinary person. It like for the crime of because that area like general existence is bad. I don't think that's an acceptable like threshold for expected behavior. And secondly, as well, that has never worked. Like, there's never been a colonialist project that failed because, like, a bunch of people, like, changed their mind and left. You know, like, it's never been like, ah, well, the ethnic cleansing was stopped and colonialism ended because the people who were born into the colonizing society, they thought the vibes were off and they all left and then it all fell apart. Like, that just doesn't happen. So, to me, it just seems like a fucking virtue signal. Can you imagine, in the modern day, like, trying to make an argument ethically and legally about who should go where, and you're trying to discuss, like, law in the Ottoman Empire or something? I don't know. I feel like past a certain point, you really have to put away the ancestry and get over it. Like, you just can't, you can't do that forever, you know? You can't. Yeah. I'm pretty consistent about this. I hold the same position for, like, land back with, like, Native American shit, you know? I believe in, like, the adherence to existing treaties and giving native people way more rights with like land use and crap like that and reparations and a bunch of stuff like that. But I've never believed in the argument that like because Native American people had the land first that means they get it back or whatever. Because honestly, I think that's pretty dumb. I think there are better ways around these arguments. And then you get into this like permanent reciprocal. Okay, here's the real woke lib brain puzzler, okay? Imagine if the government, the American government, for some reason, is like, all right, guys, we're doing land back, but like the meme version, okay? We're gonna make like all but the original 13 colonies native land again. Have fun, okay? And then it's like, okay, but which native tribes get which areas? Like, they're not all the same tribe, right? And then all the tribes start like suing each other or whatever. Like, and then immediately it's like, ah, well, you know, this tribe was here when the Americans came here, but this tribe was here before then, and our tribe was here before even that, you know? And then it turns into the same goddamn problem. It's not the same situation at all. It's not the same situation. I'm only demonstrating, like, the degree of arbitrariety here, you know what I mean? Like, the pointlessness in fighting over ancestral claims. Yeah, all land is conquered land. The question is, how do you divvy it up in a way that maximizes the happiness of the greatest amount of people? That's it, you know, it's... ancestral claims are only one piece of a larger puzzle. One thing to be accounted for in an analysis of a bunch of factors. I've got it. Guys, the only thing that can defeat an ancestral claim to land is an even more ancient ancestral claim to land. Who was in Israel before the Israelites, before the Hebrews? Is there some, like, ancient Sumerian... history people, can we find some ancient dinosaurs? The Canaanites? Is it them? We need to find them. Are they still around? Probably not. Neanderthal tribes? Get them. Go. We just need to land back harder. We give it to Joe Rogan. Somehow that feels like the best timeline. Giving the Holy Land to Joe Rogan, just like privately as an individual, somehow feels like a good timeline. I don't know how, it's probably not. It just feels like, yeah, the best ending. You know, like, the secret good ending. Guys, you know what's really funny? I'm pretty sure the only reason that Bad Empanada and other, like, inadequate lefties use the term settler colonial is specifically because other lefties do. You know? Like, all before I learned about online leftism and got embroiled in the culture, it was all, like, colonialist country. They engaged in colonialism. They were colonists. This was a colony. But then, like, at some point, the term settler colonialism, like, infected the minds of lefties. And now, like, every single thing is a settler colonialist. They call it a project, too. Settler colonialist project. They say that about America. Like, oh, yeah, dude. The state of the relationship between modern-day America and Native Americans can best be described as an ongoing project. It's definitely something that the leaders in the American government think about, like, day to day. You know, yes, how do we maintain the demographic, you know, displacement of Native Americans? They don't have to. It already happened. What even is settler colonialism? Settler colonialism is distinguished as forms of colonialism which are characterized by, like, you know, you actually setting up colonies to live there. Like, you're not just, like, setting up a military base in India and telling them to, like, ship you more spices. You're actually, like, getting people to live there. You know what I mean? But the way they talk about it, they just don't... They don't know anything. And, like, at this point, that's not really descriptive of what's happening in America, because America isn't a colony being set up in Native American land in order to displace Native American people. America is America. That fight is over. Maybe it was at some point. Actually, I feel like, for the most part, what happened in America isn't even the, like, yeah, the initial stages of, the genocide of the natives were definitely a form of settler colonialism after the Americas, like the American colonies were begun. What Christopher Columbus and shit did, or like the conquistadors and stuff, wouldn't be so much settler colonialism as more traditional colonialism, because it's not like they were trying to get people from, like, Spain over to, like, go live in Aztec, you know, like, yeah, so that was more traditional colonialism. What Israel is doing is a settler colonialist project. I just feel like the term gets abused so often. It is a bit complicated. It's all variable descriptions for, like, a wide spectrum of, you know, different shit. The Spanish did bring settlers over. Not with the original conquistadors, no. Didn't they do it later with settlements? They did it with like Christopher Columbus had settlements set up with. Oh, they did with the original conquistadors with like the 50 guys in Montezuma's Curse and shit. They did it later. Okay, later. That's what... Yeah, like eventually they did. Yeah, Yeah, you wouldn't explore with settlers. And there were settlers in British-controlled India, but, like, for the most part, it wasn't about that. It was mostly about just trying to, like, militarily suppress Indian people and shit. Also, I like how to some leftists, the term material circumstances is literally, like, it's like they're saying bazinga, or, like, abracadabra or something. What the fuck are you saying? Dude, I didn't slap your wife's ass, okay? When you were out getting drinks, and my hand touched her ass really hard on purpose, okay? It's material condition. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? What does a one-state solution mean? It means Palestinians and Israelis live together in a single state that democratically represents both groups' interests. Fuck! I think I have a fucking Israel debate coming up. Oh, God. I don't want to have to do research for that shit. I fucking hate the Israel. It's so boring. I'm Israel. I'm engaging in genocide. Great, wow, good for you, Israel.